keep that head on a swivel. Oh, Jesus Christ! How did I miss that? How is it possible that I missed 30 slave traders? Alright, well, thank goodness you did not accost us. Oh, my word. This team is in so much danger with me at the helm. This is why I am excessively cautious. Alright, we are back in Kenshi with Quill and Temperance and their team. In the last episode, these guys got incredibly lucky. They found an ancient armory. Unfortunately, it was filled with security spiders. Quill rushed in headlong, and they immediately took him down. It could have been much worse. They could have killed him, but luckily they only almost took his leg. But these guys managed to escape and make their way back to Drifter's Last with all of the plunder and riches that they have collected while adventuring through Shun over the last couple of days. They sold off most of that stuff. They still got a little bit more to sell. And so for today's episode, I think, I'm not sure what we're going to do. We're going to start out doing a little bit of shopping. Like I said, we've got some stuff to sell, and I'd like to get crossbows into as many hands as I can, and maybe we'll stop at the travel gear store and see if they have any maps. And then we'll reconvene and see what else we want to do. For sure, a trip back out into Shun to scout out the remainder of the area is in order, but we may also head over to Clownsteady. I don't think there's a ranger shop over there, but they definitely have a travel gear store, and it might be nice to see if we can get as many maps locally as we can before we head back out. But either way, that's the plan, and we are ready to jump in. We are picking up right from where we left off in the last episode. I'm going to give Quill a spot over there. It's still early in the morning, just about 10:45, and we're going to make our way over to the ranger shop. There are 2 ranger shops in this town, but unfortunately, one of them has been abandoned. I do now have a mod that will allow someone else to take over there at some point, but I would have to import my save for it to work. And I don't plan on importing until I absolutely need to. Certainly not while we're in this region, because it would very likely reset the ruins in Shun, but at some point, if you've ever played Kenshi before, at some point you have to import your save. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I was just literally about to lament how nice it is that it's been quiet here since we got back and I see people running around. Alright. Looks like it's just a bunch of slave traders running around, but I don't know that they're actually fighting anybody. What are you doing? What are you doing? Oh, you're shopping. Alright, good. Yeah. Nice. Then I shall lament how nice it is. It's... Oh my god! Immediately Quill starts sprinting. I'm literally like, oh, it's so nice that it's not chaos here this time. Alright, I don't see anything happening. They're probably fighting somebody somewhere. Let's do this. What is this? This is the travel gear store. Perfect. We'll head in here as Quill sprints in a full tilt panic. Oh, come on. Oh, boo. Alright, well, it looks like the travel gear store is not staffed as well. Is anybody coming in? No, this is all our team. What are you doing? Your Temperance. Alright. Alright, let's get back outside. Well, like I said, I have a mod eventually. What is this? Seize them. Oh my goodness. Alright, we're going to keep our head down. I got some shopping to do. Like I said, we might take a trip to Clownsteady. We might head back out to Shun. We're definitely heading back out to Shun at some point, but we're not going to get ourselves involved in whatever is going on here. Can't have one nice day, huh? Huh, United Cities? Alright, we're going to head into this ranger shop up here. We're going to hope for the best. I'd like to at least get crossbows for Hammett and Temperance. And if we could do that here, great. But if not, it's going to be a little tough because I don't think there's a crossbow shop. I don't think there's a ranger shop in Clownsteady. I don't know, maybe it's early in the day. Maybe we actually will take a trip out there because it's too early to take a trip out to Shun. Let's get our shopping done and then we'll take a look at the map and think about what we're going to do. Looking to buy? Show me what you've got. Ooh, I see a toothpick. A high quality toothpick, but it's only $6,000. Alright, nice. They didn't have a ton of stuff in there, but they did have a toothpick for Hammett and an old world bow for Temperance, and everybody has at least 5 bolts, which is fantastic. The travel gear store is not staffed, which is unfortunate. It's probably going to be that way for as long as we're in this region. Oh well. I might stop at that that general goods store that I think is just past the travel gear store, because I'd like to get more tools before we head out anywhere. And it looks like we are nice and calmed down, but it also looks like someone has fallen here. A tech hunter who's an escaped slave. Are we going to get in trouble if we interfere? He is shackled, right? He is. We're not going to unlock his shackles, but we might heal him. I don't think I'll get in trouble if I heal him. There's only one way to find out. Maybe we'll have Hammett heal him. All right. Oh, it looks like the United Cities is healing him as well. Did we take care of it? Nice. He's all healed up. All right. That tech hunter's going to be fine. Hammett has done his good deed for the day. We don't want Hammett getting himself in trouble while we're in the city. I think I mentioned in the last episode or the one before, we'll probably make a point to help slaves, escaped or otherwise, out in the wilds, but inside of city limits, we are certainly not formidable enough to deal with any fallout from getting involved in city business. Is this a general shop? It is. Let's see if they have tools. And then it's kind of early. Maybe we will head out to Clownsteady just for the adventure of it. Celia says, here to buy, let's trade. Oh, you do not have tools, huh? You just have backpacks, which I don't need. I don't think so. Yeah, we're fine. Alright, that general goods store didn't have anything that we need. It is turning chaotic in this city, and we are right next to the exit. Let's take a step outside and let's look at the map. I think we might head to Clownsteady just because we haven't been there in a little while. I'm almost positive they have a travel gear store. Ooh, there is an escaped slave mercenary guild member here as well. Hammett, why don't you first aid this person too? You know, if we're not going to get in trouble, why doesn't everybody lay in and help this guy out? Oh, there's another one over here. We'll help out where we can, where it makes sense, and still keep our noses clean in the city wherever possible. Oh, how much would I love if you were the pack beast we saw, just roaming out in the wilds by yourself. I don't think that's the case, though. Oh my god, what is going on here? It is a little chaotic out here. We've got United Cities collecting rebel farmers. Even more rebel farmers. Alright. Looks like the United Cities have it under control. Alright, let's do this. Let's stop right here. Let's take a look at the map, and let's think about this. We already got what we could out of this ranger shop. I'm almost positive there's not a ranger shop in Clownsteady, but we could confirm that for sure. But I am also almost positive that there's at least one travel gear store out there. We could grab maps, we could grab tools, we could grab all the supplies we need, and we could head out from there. Because the other medium-term thing that I'd like to do before we figure out what's next for this team is I want to finish scouting Shun. You know, we're kind of in for a penny here. We may as well do the whole thing. We've pretty much got everything along the river, I think. We probably could scout these parts and make sure there's nothing there. We've uncovered this with a map. We certainly could take a peek into Iraq. Maybe not go in there, but just head to the top of this crater line. Just kind of look in. And then certainly check these areas that might be a little more dangerous. We've uncovered a workshop complex in the grid. I'm sure these guys know that the grid and the crater are pretty dangerous, but we certainly could at least make sure we scout all of these areas before we move on. But at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, we're certainly not going to get anywhere really today. I mean, we probably could get to our old little makeshift outpost, but we still do need supplies, and it'd be good to confirm that there's no ranger shop in Clownsteady, and I'm almost positive that we could make it to Clownsteady before nightfall. I think we'd probably get there around 6 p.m. if we left at a jog, and we certainly could go faster if we need to. So let's do that. Let's do that. Let's head out. Nice, and just as we leave the area of Drifter's Last, Quill calms down, returns to a jog. No, I spoke too soon. Let's stop right here and just make sure nothing's chasing us. I don't want to get too far away from Drifter's Last before we find out something terrible is in front of us. I'm going to let him sprint for a minute. I think he's sprinting just because there's a lot of commotion in Drifter's Last all of a sudden as we're leaving. I mean, we are pretty far now. We may well have something chasing us. Something is making Quill nervous, as I often like to lament. Let's let everybody catch up and see if something is chasing us. The team has caught up. We're going to follow this body of water to the end. And once we see the end of this body of water, we're somewhere around here, we should see this ridge. And when we see the ridge, we should be able to see the way station. Maybe we'll stop in the way station. I don't think there's anything in the way station for us, but it can't hurt. We haven't been there in a while. Oh my goodness, Quill. Quill, you need to calm down. You're making me nervous. These damn flies are eating me alive, says Hammett. Nothing is chasing us. There's not even any disturbance or commotion around here. You need to calm down, Quill. Quill's just on edge. We'll let him get to about this rock here. If he's still sprinting, we'll put them all in group run so they don't get separated. I still think it's reasonable to believe that it is Drifter's Last that is causing this commotion. There could be fighting outside of the perimeter of Drifter's Last. I just don't want to get too far away. Oh, nice. Perfect. Nice. Yes, just a little further and Quill calms down. I love it. I just didn't want to get too far away from the city and have us walk right into something terrible. But it looks like we are good. I am sure that I have just jinxed us. But such is the case with Kenshi. And what a lovely afternoon to make our way out to Clownsteady. It's been a little while since we've been out there. It's nice to check in every once in a while. Make sure we have a good lay of the land. Everything seems okay. I don't want to get too confident. I often say I don't like to get complacent. That's when terrible things happen in Kenshi. But these guys have just been doing so well. They've been getting very, very lucky. Things that could be very bad have not been so bad. Alright, we are just past the body of water. Heading up to the ridgeline where we should be able to see the way station. Let's get some height. The way station's going to be off to our right, but we'll get some height and see if we can look out across to the river. We should be able to see this other valley. I don't think we're going to be able to see Clownsteady from here, but just get a sense that it is nice and safe. As safe as it can be. Get to the highest point. What do we got? Right there. Right out there. And we'll stop and take a look around. It's perfect. This is exactly what I was hoping for. We quite literally should walk into Clownsteady at about 6 o'clock. 1800 on the clock on the right there. Let's see if we... Oh, perfect. I was going to say, let's see if we can see the way station. We can indeed. I don't think I need anything from the way station, although it is... Oh, Jesus. Slavehunters? Slavehunters. Let's back away from them. We don't need to fight them. I was going to say I don't think I need anything from the way station. We haven't been there in a while, but if Slavehunters are heading in there, I suppose we can skip it. No sense getting hurt right now. I think these guys probably have adventure on their minds. That's what's been going well for them. Why risk an injury? We probably have a good couple of days of travel ahead of us. Want to be in tip-top shape for that, so... Alright. Let's unpause and take a look around. The Slavehunters have moved on, which is good. Let's do this. I think we are looking... I think we might be looking at this. Right here. Well, let's go for that spot. We'll seize that little gully that leads back up to another plateau. We'll head over to it. We should be able to put eyes on Clownsteady somewhere at that point. It's still relatively early, which is good. Early afternoon. That should leave us with some time to do some shopping in Clownsteady. And then we'll find a bar, hunker down for the night. And, oh, Clownsteady is loading in. We're going to let it do that. We'll find a bar, we'll hunker down for the night, and maybe, just maybe, we'll see how dangerous it is, but maybe we leave out of Clownsteady in the morning, heading for this lost library, but we run along the edge of the crater. I don't know. I don't love the idea. This looks very interesting. But I don't love the idea of actually ducking into crater territory. Maybe we'll run along the edge of the rise. Use that as a good landmark to get back to the lost library tomorrow morning. Not a bad idea, because that's an area we have not scouted yet. What a nice little spot. Oh, I see more people over here. More slave traders. Oh, right there. Yeah, I was going to say, every time we've come through here, it's been busy in this little river valley here. If it wasn't, this would be a nice little spot to set up camp. Nice. These slave traders do not see us at all, which is good. They're very far away. We'll make our way over to Clownsteady. A shame we couldn't stop in the way station, but I'm almost positive they don't have anything for us over there. I'm pretty sure they had a ruined private residence and a mechanical shop. Alright, let's get to the top of this plateau here, and let's see if we can get eyes on Clownsteady. I am so thoroughly confident we'll be able to see it once we get to the top here. Yes, we see the windmills, and we have Shimazu saying, what will it be today? What indeed, Shimazu? You know what it's going to be today? It's going to be shopping. Quill starts a sprint already as we approach Clownsteady. I'm sure it's going to be chaos once we get in there, too. We can't go anywhere without it being chaotic, huh? What do we got down here? We've got a general shop right inside the front door. That's good. A workplace. Interesting. Looks like a hospital back there. Maybe another general shop. Let's get inside and maybe we'll run the perimeter, the outer edge along the wall there from the inside. Let's get ourselves inside, though. I'm going to put them in group runs so we don't get separated. I'm relatively certain that we're safe here. I'd like to keep them together while we enter the city. Best fish in town, says a man running the fish shop. Well, sir, unfortunately, I am not interested in your fish. You there, Hiver. You guys love fish. Where's there a Hiver? There's no Hiver. Oh, yeah, there is. Look at that. Sow of the Hy-Vee gang. All right, there is indeed a general shop right inside the front door. Let's... Oh, geez. There's drifters that have been dropped. They are not escaped slaves. They do not need our help. I don't think Hammond is necessarily going to care one way or the other. I'm sure these guys are empathetic, but suffering and Kenshi kind of go hand in hand. Hello there, Toshia. Looking to buy? I am indeed. Do you have tools? You have 2. We'll take them. Those are mine. Thank you very much. All right, we are able to get some tools, which is good. And I'm going to run along the outer perimeter of the city. We'll see what kind of shops they got around. Like I said, I'm almost positive there is no ranger shop in here, but if we can find a travel gear store, I'd love to get more maps. That would be fantastic. What do we got here? Not a guarantee that they'll have them, but they sometimes do. We've got a mechanical shop over here. I think that's the wall back there, so we don't need to go back there. This is good to... Ah. Oh, nice. There's a travel gear store right there. As we see somebody getting beat right in front of it. Alright. Who is this? It's not a tech hunter, is it? Rebel farmer. Whatever. Good. Do your job, city guards. We're happy to watch it happen. We'll let that play itself out. These guys will watch, getting a kick out of people who have attacked us in the past. Made our life a living hell. It's surprising it's taking you guys this long. You are guards, right? Yeah. Let's head into the travel gear store. Now, hopefully they have maps. Let's see. Tatum says, looking to trade. I am indeed. Let's do business. Oh, yo, you have a bunch of maps. The swamps, mongrel, the border zone, tech hunters map, Shek Kingdom. We're buying all of these. A tech hunters library map. Oh my goodness, I'm so glad I came in here. I'm so glad I came down to Clownsteady. I almost didn't do it. I was almost going to go back to Shun. Let's see. What do we need? What do you got for blueprints? Market tents, an outdoor workbench. I might get that. If we make camp, we could do some research. This also would be helpful for when we split the team up. The other team, the secondary team, could do some research. They could get some work done. Let's see. We're going to do that. We're going to get the outdoor workbench done. And we're getting all these maps. All right. That's fantastic. Let's get out of here. And let's take a look at these maps. We've got a map of the swamps. An easy place to get lost. You can say that again without a map marker or being able to click on the map. The swamps is a very dangerous place to visit. That's well worth buying a map for. Nice. And we locate all 3 of the major villages in the swamps. That is fantastic. And a map to Mongrel for those desperate enough to face a fate worse than death, a promise of isolated safety, and a future without slavery. Interesting. A future without slavery. That's interesting. I don't know that I've run through Mongrel before. I didn't spend a ton of time in this area. I was so busy at war with the Holy Nation in my last series that I didn't spend a ton of time in this general area. I did all this, but not much here because of the Holy Nation. All right, we've got a map of the border zone, a no man's land between 3 great nations. Conflict prevents civilized settlement. We unlocked a whole bunch of places there. Nice. There's a way station, a couple of way stations, looks like an old ruin, and the hub. A tech hunter's map of a swamped lab. A map from a tech hunter scout detailing a possible location to find ancient science books. Nice. And that's in the swamps. I guess that makes sense, a swamped lab. All right, and a map of the Shek Kingdom, which includes a bunch of towns in the Shek Kingdom. And there we see all next to the border zone there. Beautiful. And a tech hunter's library map to a lost library. A hand-drawn map marking a location of interest to tech hunters is likely to be an old world information source that could reveal the locations of labs. And it is very, very far away. Either way, I'm going to call that a win. That's fantastic. And we will learn our blueprints, our outdoor workbench, and I also picked up market tents. If we ever feel like making a camp, it'd be nice to be able to make some tents. All right, that is fantastic. I'm so glad I came out here. Let's keep looking around the town. There's a drifter with a $1,000 bounty. I don't know that we're going to be bounty hunters just yet. I'm sure he's wanted in this neighborhood. But Ruby, a citizen of the United Cities, is wanted with a bounty. I think I'm still trying to figure out if these guys are going to be empathetic. I think right now they're really just focused on being adventurers. And I'd imagine they'll be generally empathetic, but certainly empathetic towards slaves and ex-slaves with Hammond on the team. It seems like it's shaking up that way. I don't know where we're going to land for everybody else, so opportunistic bounty hunting doesn't seem like it's in order right now. See anything you like? Show me what you've got. You don't have much for me, huh? All right, looks like there's not much else of major interest in the city. We're going to head into the bar. Maybe we'll do some mingling with the locals. If not, we'll hunker down so we can head out in the morning. All right, we picked up some supplies from the bar, but it's still a little bit early. We've still got a little bit of daylight. I think these guys are sprinting already. I'm going to put them in group runs so they stick together. I think we're going to explore the area a little bit. We're going to head out and maybe just go take a peek in the South Wetlands. We really probably can't make it too far. Maybe we'll go up to the top of this plateau and just kind of look out across the wetlands. Maybe if we can even see into the grid. I can't imagine before it gets dark we're going to get further than like right here. But just since we've got a little bit of time, might as well go take a look at what's going on around here. Oh, I think I see why we're sprinting. A guard just ran by with a rebel farmer on their shoulder. Okay, good. For a second, I thought we were about to get attacked. There we go. Oh, there we go. A whole bunch of dying rebel farmers. All right, well, I don't need your junk. It's too heavy. We are just going to go do a little bit of exploring. These guys, as I've said, they're starting to feel like explorers. They're starting to feel like tech hunters. Eventually, they are going to get their card pulled for sure. But while our luck is holding out, I imagine they're going to keep pressing it. We've got just a little bit of time before it gets dark, and we can get ourselves back into town and spend the night in the bar. But it's still just a little bit too early. A little bit. I'd love to get up high. I don't want to risk going in there. It looks like it comes right back out on the other side. Maybe we'll go in here. I think we are right here. Maybe we'll go right here and see if we can get up this little rift right here. Let's try that. Let's try that. Hopefully, we're still close enough to town that it's not unsafe what we're doing. Not incredibly unsafe. It's not like there's anything you can necessarily do in this game that is safe. But hopefully we're not doing something stupid. I feel like we're in close enough proximity to town. As long as can I see a gate here? Let's do this. If I can see a gate, we'll risk it. Oh, I see somebody moving over there. United Cities. Not that bad. And there's a gate right there. All right. Let's head up. We'll head up until it gets just a little bit darker. If we can get to the top of this plateau, great. If not, we'll turn back, no problem. We're just close enough to the city that it feels like it's not the stupidest thing I've ever done. We're going to stop here. We're going to look around. We're starting to get into territory where we could see things like beak things. I'd imagine these guys know the rumors of beak things in the crater and in the grid. Wouldn't be impossible that one of them could... The scent reminds me of her. What? What scent? What do you smell? The swamp? The wetlands? All right, it starts to rain, but it's not acid rain. That's good. We're going to stop right here. Like I said, it's not completely out of the question that a beak thing could come charging out of the crater. It's not likely, but it could happen. Let me take a look. We are right in line, I believe, with this. We're far enough from the crater. I don't know what's here, though. We'll go up a little higher. I don't want to get stuck out here in the dark, but there's not much around us, so... I don't see anything moving in the grasses. As long as it's not a beak thing, we should be able to outrun whatever it is. And we've got a couple crossbows now. Karthikeyan says, Shimazu, we need better blades. Things aren't looking up for us. We're going to get better blades. I would imagine if we make more money... I don't know how long our shun trip is going to hold out for us, but But imagine if we can make a little more money, we might buy some nicer sidearms. Your wish will be fulfilled at some point, Shimazu. Ooh. Oh, jeez Louise. It's turtles. Okay. There are like 50 turtles over here. Alright, Shimazu answers, what? Why? I mean, we don't have that many options. Shimazu, that is very true. But you're also distracting me. I just got quite a shock from seeing a bunch of turtles. They don't have the long necks, but they certainly are gigantic, and it scared the crap out of me. Karthikeyan retorts, I'm not lying, I'm being blunt, but it's the truth. Alright, you pessimists. Shimazu answers, you always say shit like that. Alright. You guys gotta stop being so pessimistic. Alright, it is getting dark. I like seeing herbivores. That means there's probably nothing predatory around here, because I expect it would go after the herbivores, although I don't know what hunts turtles. It'd have to be bigger than a turtle, most likely. But it's getting dark. We got to the top of the plateau. There's not much up here. It's very interesting. It'd be nice to go a little further, but I don't think I want to risk it, so we're going to head back in. We got to see just a little bit of what's beyond the southern United Cities. Oh, man, it is good we turned around when we did, because it's getting dark fast. Karthikeyan says, I'm so tired, but I have to keep going. Don't worry, Karthikeyan, we're heading right back to the bar. Don't even worry. Hopefully that is as easy done as it is said, although I do see some movement down there. We're going to have to be careful. We are very close to the city, but you never know. I also thought I heard an animal, but it sounded like a Garu. We are certainly due for our scheduled Garu jump scare. Oh my goodness, thank God I turned around when I did. I can barely see. That was quite the risk. We got told to move along. Pretty lucky. We have not as yet been shaken down, which is good. Sometimes you get stopped at the gates and they give you a hard time. We're going to go into the closer bar rather than the bigger bar, just because it is so dark. But it is not over full. We'll put the team in some seats for the night, and we'll pick up with them in the morning. Alright, these guys had a pretty uneventful night in the bar, which is good. I think that's what they like to see. We're heading out. Oh, there are slave traders firing on tech hunters. There are red sabers. Interesting. Alright. I was going to say, let's get out to the river, and I was going to check the map. Let's, Will's just going to yell to everybody to stick together. It's looking a little dangerous. We're not going to get involved in whatever's going on over there. Red sabers committing crimes. Fighting the United Cities. Alright, we may have to think twice about what I was about to do. Let's take a look. We're going to move a little bit further away from this so we don't get caught up in the middle of it. These red sabers are very close to the city. But let's stop right there. Let's just look around. It seems safe. We can always go out the front door. That's not really a problem. My goodness, there's a whole bunch of stuff happening over here. Man, did we almost get dropped by red sabers last night? Moving around in the dark? Alright, well, my thought was going to be, let's run the river. The dry riverbed here, it looks like. And stick with the crater until we can get back into Shun. We might still do that. I'm going to say that we're close enough to the city that I'm not super worried about. Let's come out a little further away from the city. I was kind of keen on running along the river here, but seeing actual nefarious fellows has me kind of thinking twice about it. You know what? Let's do this. We can get up here. Let's get up here, and we'll get some height, and we'll take a look at what's going on. If anything, we can stick with the river from up high, which is something I like to do anyway. Rather stay high wherever we can. Perfect. Quill calms down a little bit as we get further away from Clownsteady. And I do believe we are probably right next to this thing. That looks like that's probably that. That's a good landmark, too. Ah, man, I was really hoping to run down and look at all this stuff. Whatever, we're burning daylight and we've got a long way to go. Otherwise, I would run down there, but it does not look like there's anything down there. It doesn't look like there's a really good reason to go down there, other than it would be nice to see something new. But these guys have a plan, which is to get back to Shun. Yeah, so far so good. There's not a lot going on around here, which is probably nice for these guys. We're away from the river, but we're going to try to stay to our right. We're going to try to keep the crater close. Uncover as much new terrain as we possibly can. We've run through the middle of this plateau a number of times, so... Shimazu says, I've always wanted to explore the wilds when I was a kid. Now I'd rather just spend the night at a bar instead. You know what, Shimazu? Best of both worlds, huh? Is someone else saying something? Sometimes I wonder if we'll ever find out what caused this world to fall into such chaos, or maybe it's always been like this. Sad to think about. Let's step over here. We don't know who this is. We hear someone talking from just over the ridge. We're gonna just step away. We saw red sabers outside the door. Maybe this is a good opportunity to run down into the ravine like we wanted to. Shimazu, you gotta keep quiet. Someone out here. Someone's out here with us. Let's do this. We'll get to the edge over here. We'll see if we can see anybody. I don't even like the idea of running to the United Cities this far away from the actual city itself, so... I'm gonna keep a watch on the horizon there. It doesn't look like anybody was coming towards us, but it doesn't mean we can't run into somebody down here. Even though we now have crossbows, we have done no fighting. They are not yet in any shape to fight. I see our own shadow down there, and it scared me. It's literally scared of my own shadow. That is how not ready these guys are for whatever fight is ahead of them. Oh, look at that. There we go. Somebody's out here. It is Slavehunters. All right, we just missed a run-in with Slavehunters. Let's see if we can get down into the ravine. Let me do this. Let's take a look at where we are. I bet we're right here. And we'll see if we can get down into this ravine. Let's do that. Let's see where Quill goes. If he runs back to the Slavehunters to do it... Oh, we're going to stop right there. We're going to stop right there because I don't know what he's going to do. There's quite a few Slavehunters there. It's not a guarantee we would win whatever fight we were about to have. God damn, Quill, you want to go that way, huh? We're going to give those Slavehunters another minute to move on. I lost sight of them, and Quill really seems to want to run back where they are to get down into the ravine, so... Give him a second. We might even move back to a walk. This way we just keep moving, but we let them get some distance on us. I don't see them. They're probably already over the horizon here. But just to be safe. Alright, my goodness. Quill backtracked all the way to exactly where the Slavehunters were coming up to get down here. It is a good thing we were cautious. No matter. Oh man, what a beautiful morning. Yeah, it really is a shame this is the most populated area outside of Clownsteady. We wouldn't be able to do it right now because these guys are certainly not skilled enough, but at some point setting up a camp in a very pretty place like this, maybe a little camp right there, be nice. Alright, we are going to try to stick with the edge of the crater, the outer foot of the crater, make our way back over to Shun. Be a little careful, but these guys will enjoy the lovely morning in the hot desert. As Shimazu says, I can't believe how hot it is here. I hear you, my friend. Alright, ooh. As we come to the edge of the ravine, we see a mercenary guild. Very interesting. Alright. Not super worried about the mercenaries. I believe we've already helped them a handful of times. I don't know that they care about that. Oh, they like us a little bit. That's nice. Just a little bit. We've been first dating their people. And they have a good opinion of us. If only we had more money, maybe we'd hire them to take them with us, but they're going to be like $3,000 and we don't have that much money. It may be dangerous, but we're going to carry on. There's a lone drifter out here as well. It's very busy out here this morning. I did not expect this particular path to be so populated. Very strange. I didn't expect to discover anything this way, but I also really did not expect to run into anybody. Just kind of going this way just to see what's out here so we can get a good sense of the terrain. Nice to get a look at things. Oh, it looks like there's somebody else out here too. No, that is a tree. I thought that was a caravan of some kind leading off that way. Alright, let's take a look at the map. I think we're looking at that. I think that is that. So then we're like right here. That's good. Alright, let's see if we can locate this river. We'll stick with this edge of the crater. It's a little claustrophobic right here, but if we can just get to the top of this little ridge here, we should be fine. Oh, Quill's gonna go a different way to get up there. That's just fine by me. Let's get some height. Where are you going? All right, whatever. We'll let him. He knows best. There is an Empire peasant with a $2,000 bounty. It's a shame I can't talk to you. I'd like to give you some food, sir. That is unfortunate. We're not going to pull any kidnapping shenanigans to give him food. I typically don't like to pull shenanigans regardless of what they are, but... Would have been nice if I could have given you something, but... Oh, nice. Look at that. The Empire peasant says, guess you're going to be wanting to report me, huh? Let's talk with him. You're from the Empire. Well, you found me. But I can't let you live now that you've seen me on the run from the slavers, Roamer. See, I'm not going back to the mines. They grabbed their weapon. Let's tell him, yeah, let's say don't do this, I can help you. I'd be an idiot to believe anyone to be on the side of a pitiful slave. After all, once a slave, always a slave, am I right? It's kill or be killed, and I won't go down without a fight. Oh, Quill says nothing, and he literally attacks us. Oh, that is a bummer. We're going to get hurt here, and we're going to have to hurt him. What a bittersweet moment. These guys do need some practice with their new weapons. But we're going to have to hurt a slave. That is unfortunate. If anything, we can heal him and put some food in him if he goes down. Hopefully, we don't get too hurt doing it. Let's let these guys go. We'll see what happens. I'll give them all the attack order. We'll just let them go. Oh, and Quill takes a hit. That's okay. You know, whoa. Temperance and Hammett. Oh my goodness. Come over here. Out to the side. Out to the side. We don't want them shooting our own people. They're still gonna anyway. Just give our guys a fighting chance there. Alright, there we go. This unfortunate person is dying. We're gonna tend to our wounded first, and then we'll take care of him. Alright, everybody else is fine. Let's lay in on first aiding this person. Oh, man, what a bummer. Poor fella. Let's give him some food. Quill's got plenty. Let's give him some meat, a cactus, and some leftovers. There you go, my friend. Are you starving? He's very hungry. Oh, I'll give you a grub, too. There you go. There you go. That's our good deed for the day. He already eats some dried meat. We're going to get him back up to full health. It's going to tear through some of our supplies, but better than just leaving him to die. I don't want to take him into town. I think we're going to leave him here. We've done what we can. We've helped him. We're not going to risk taking him into town. I'm not trying to draw the ire of anybody. Ooh, careful. There are tech hunters out to our left there. There's actually more than tech hunters. Somebody else is out there too. A shinobi thief. My goodness, it is so populated out here today. All right. Yeah, either way, we're not going to bring him into town. We're going to leave him there. We've helped him as best we could. He attacked us, which is not ideal. But we left him with some food. There are slave traders directly in front of us. Let's move up a little bit. We might give those guys a second to move on, because we're kind of going right there, I do believe. As Carthaginian says, the wind feels nice. How true that is. Got a bunch of tech hunters over here we could talk to. We'd probably be able to hire them for a few thousand, but I don't think we're going to do that. The slave traders are moving just behind this rock here. We're going to let them do that. I'm going to move forward just a little bit. Slave hunters are not very well armed, but these guys are not very well experienced. That was about as much excitement as they can handle for today, I think. Quill's chest is half caved in, and someone else got hurt too, right? Carthaginian, yeah, his chest is also not looking too great, and that's a lot of slave hunters. Let's come over here. Whoops, not you, Carthaginian. Not you. We should be far enough away from these guys. They should leave us alone. It has been surprisingly populated out here today. Making me a little bit nervous. We still got a ways to go. It's a little past midday. If we see a river just past this spot, I know we are close to this library, which is good. I'm surprised that not only is it populated out in this region right now, but so specifically at the edge of the crater. What is everybody doing out here? Do we see water right here? We do indeed. We don't see anybody coming at us, which is nice. And can I get over there? I think we got some swimming in our future, huh? That's fine. That's fine. There is a bone dog out here. If we did not already take damage to 2 people's chests, I would probably say let's go fight that bone dog, but We're going to get these guys set up in a place where they can rest for the night. And we can head out to the depths of Shun tomorrow morning. Alright, I believe we should catch the other part of the river right here. Which means we can follow it vaguely down to the left, and we may even be able to see our beloved makeshift outpost as we come through this area right here. Just looking around as we pass. This is a new area for us. Hammett says, bleh, fuck this, I wish I was drunk. Alright, Hammett, calm down. One little afternoon march through the desert and you lose all your optimism. I feel like I've gone just a little bit further than I expected to have to go before I would see water. No, it's right there. Fantastic. Oh, nice. And we might be able to see that outpost as soon as we get past this little ridge right here, and Quill starts to sprint. Why do you start to sprint, Quill? What is the problem? Oh, shit. Rebel farmers. Quill. Quill's gonna yell to everybody to run. Run. Are they moving faster than us? They might be. They might be. We're gonna get across. We're gonna get across. I don't love it, but we're gonna get across. Well, might tell some of these guys to split and run for the outpost. Maybe we'll tell Tatsuya, Karthikeyan, and Shimazu to split off and run for the outpost. Get themselves set up and come back out and see if we've successfully taken care of these rebel farmers. If they've kept up chase, they might not have. They might have given up. We might have lost them just coming this way. Nice. That's actually really good. Because I'm not super sure where the outpost is. It does indeed look like they gave up. Nice. That's fantastic. At some point, these guys are going to have to start testing their skills. But in ways and places that make sense. These guys are in it for the long haul. And as I've said many times, I treat it like it's real life. Why risk an injury if you don't have to, or you're not sure you're going to win? They're going to pick sure fights. And certainly they're going to pick fights where they are close to an ability to heal themselves. Close to cities and towns and the safeties of walls. Close to the help of guards and police. And I think this is the fork in the river that leads to the outpost, so we're going to take it. I do indeed believe that's the fork in the river, so we'll stay on this side. No sense getting in the water if we don't have to. We'll wait till we see the outpost and then we'll make a decision to cross. And keep that head on a swivel. Oh, Jesus Christ! How did I miss that? How is it possible that I missed 30 slave traders? Alright, well, thank goodness you did not accost us. Oh. Good God. My word. This team is in so much danger with me at the helm. This is why I am excessively cautious. Emmett says, I can't believe how hot it is here. Emmett, it is a desert. What do you expect? Alright, we're going to get to the shortest spot in the river. The narrow area right there. We'll cross there. My goodness. I cannot believe that 50 slave traders snuck up on me. Alright, across the river we go. It's still a little bit early, but it's probably too late for these guys to make it to the second library. And I don't know that I necessarily want to be in that library anyway. I think what I might like to do is try to make a push for the actual central library. Central to our end goal. Our end goal is to get into this region. Yeah, so I think we'll set up here for the night. And we'll try to push for the next library. The midpoint library, so that we can then have the away team push for that last ruin. And maybe if that turns out to be fruitful, or even if it doesn't, we'll come back through Shun on the east side. Alright, well I think that's where we're going to leave it. These guys have made it back to the outskirts of Shun and set up shop in the makeshift outpost that they've used in the past. And so in the next episode, I think these guys are going to be ready to make their way out to the other edge of Shun to explore what is possibly the last ancient ruin left to explore in this region. But we'll do that in the next episode, so subscribe for more Kenshi, and I'll see you next time.